Hello, MCU fans. Today is going to be a deep dive into all of the Spider-Verse cameos that came from on-screen media. So, in particular, we're talking about movies, TV shows, animated shows, video games, web series, etc. But we're not just going to look at the direct cameos, i.e., the Spider-Mans. We're then going to look at every time that Spider-Man, let's say in the animated series, then showed up in other animated series. So, we're going to see all of the things that are tied together in the vast multiverse that's slowly forming thanks to across and into the Spider-Verse. Should be really cool. I think you're really going to enjoy this. It is worth noting, though, I'm not going to cover the things that appeared in the comics, i.e. Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon, and End of the Spider-Verse, because I've already done that. You can check out an earlier video. It's a good 20, 30 minutes just over this topic alone. No, we're going to focus on the on-screen media because these are things that I haven't yet added in my Google spreadsheet out on my Google Drive. So I'm going to leave a pinned comment that has a link so you can go find this in case you're not sure where it is. But notice, I already have multiverse live action movies, live action shows, and TV movies. However, I never had the animated shows, the video games, and some of those type of things. So it's all going to be out here, hopefully by the end of the day. And there is still a filter that has always been there. And if you don't want to see multiverse stuff, you can filter it out. And if you only want to see multiverse, you can filter for that. Of course, you can always download it as well and edit away. So hope you'll enjoy that. But yeah, it is amazing to see all of the crossovers that get formed because of the Spider-Verse movies. So I need to say huge thanks right up front to Robbie. Dude, your research was amazing. You're fantastic, man. Now, he supplied this image because he still considers himself Robin, but I'm telling you, he's been promoted to Batman and I'm Robin for this video, okay? Because he did so much good work. Love you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Also, now that we're going into a new month, September, I want to announce another contest. So all you have to do is to be a subscriber, leave a comment, and I will announce the winner in October, who will be chosen at random. And if you're the lucky winner, you can choose from one of these 3 books. But that also means the August contest has come to an end, so it's time to announce that winner, who is Theory Crafting Machine. Dude, well done. Very nice, meaty comment, too. So Theory Crafting Machine, all you got to do is go to my About page and reach out to me. My email's there, my Discord, etc., however you want to. Just get a hold of me and we'll take care of you with one of these 3 books. And also, best of luck to our September contest winner. Leave those comments, be a subscriber, and hopefully you'll win. Okay, so as I mentioned, these cameos are going to be from characters from Into and Across the Spider-Verse. So both movies give us a lot of them, and they're anyone who's been in on-screen media. So it's also worth mentioning the Spider-Verse is composed now of 5 entries, and you might say 5? I thought there was only 2. Well, Caught in a Ham is a really cute little short that actually occurs during Into the Spider-Verse. The Spider Within is not out yet, but it has already been said for sure that it is going to take place between the 2 Spider-Verse movies that are already out, and it will show some of Miles' life in between the movies. So that's going to be really good. I can't wait for that to come out. And of course, Beyond the Spider-Verse will be out when 2025 now. I don't know. I hope it won't take that long. But anyway, these are the 5 entries so far. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to go in basically release order for the different media. So where do you start? Well, of course, the 60s animated Spider-Man, right? Awesome cartoon. I remember watching these in syndication when I was a kid. Loved it. Obviously, this Spider-Man appeared in Into the Spider-Verse in the post-credit scene, and he appeared in Across the Spider-Verse chasing Miles, and I love it that he gets stuck because his animation isn't as well-defined and as well done as Miles, so he can't handle it and gets stuck. That's epic. And of course, if not for the cartoon, we wouldn't have the pointing meme. And the pointing meme, as you can see, is how it originally appeared in the upper left, but of course it showed up in the post-credit and Into the Spider-Verse. It was in No Way Home, and then never to be topped, it has showed up in Across the Spider-Verse with an epic, epic pointing meme. So that Spider-Man series ran from 1967 to 1970, 3 seasons, 52 episodes, although really the first season was the best. The second 2 are like, blah. But also it's worth noting that this show crosses over with Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman ran from 1979 to 1980, 1 season, 16 episodes. And I do realize some people do consider this to be a different universe, even label it a different universe. But here's the key. The same actor from the 60s show was brought back, Paul Soles, and he voiced the Spider-Man in a couple different episodes when he appeared with Spider-Woman. Also, the costume looks so similar. So I'm thinking it's the same Spider-Man. Tell me what you think in the comments, but I really think this crossover counts, and so therefore we can bring in the Spider-Woman series. All right, next we have Video Man from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I also loved watching this in syndication when I was a kid. I actually thought I was going to marry Firestar. Spoiler alert, it didn't happen. But nonetheless, I would have gladly married her. Anyway, so we have Video Man appearing on the left there, and there you see him from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. So there's actually 3 different series that all tie together. There was a solo Spider-Man series from 81 to 82, 1 season, 26 episodes. And then I still can't figure this out, but Spider-Man's Amazing Friends had 3 seasons, but only 24 episodes? It actually had less episodes than the 1 season of the first Spider-Man series. Oh well. And then there was The Incredible Hulk, which came out in 1982 for 1 season with 13 episodes, and he crossed over multiple times with that Spider-Man from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. So, very cool. All right, then we have the Green Goblin from the Atari Spider-Man. He's on the right in the upper picture there. He was trapped in Across the Spider-Verse. And, of course, there he is appearing in the Atari Spider-Man game. Yeesh. Those graphics. Gotta love it, huh? And then the Atari Spider-Man game came out in 1982. All right, so then we have the 90s Spider-Man. So he is seen getting his hand bitten, and big thanks to Andre there, who helped us figure this out, because we weren't sure that that's what that was, but he said, nope, it is, and helped us locate it. And of course, you can see it there in the Web of Life of Destiny in the lower left, and then a little bit of a close-up. So yeah, very cool. That's definitely his hand. All right, also, this kind of cheesy shirt, please don't ever come back into style. But anyway, you notice in Across the Spider-Verse, very briefly, it's a quick frame, but that same cheesy shirt. Clearly, that is a tribute to that shirt. All right, then that means the Spider-Man show clearly now is canon to the multiverse, and it ran from 94 to 98, 5 seasons and 65 episodes. But there were a lot of crossovers. First of all, Daredevil showed up in Spider-Man show, and then he showed up in the Fantastic Four show. Spider-Man crossed over with the X-Men, obviously, as you can see. Spider-Man crossed over with the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. And then the same Iron Man showed up in Hulk. You see in the upper left-hand corner there, Juggernaut's hand. That is in a Fantastic Four episode, tying the X-Men and the Fantastic Four into one universe. And, of course, we had the big Secret Wars event in the lower right-hand corner. I will say that many people believe that it's only the Spider-Man and X-Men that are in the same universe, but that Fantastic Four, Iron Man, and Hulk are in a separate universe. But man, these crossovers seem to really tie them all together. So however you want to view it, but it really seems to me like we're seeing a one world here. So anyway, if you tie them all together, we know for certain X-Men is tied in. That's for certain. And that ran from 92 to 97 for 5 seasons and 76 episodes. Iron Man ran from 94 to 96, 2 seasons, 26 episodes. And Fantastic Four ran from 94 to 96, 2 seasons, 26 episodes. And finally, Incredible Hulk ran from 96 to 97, 2 seasons, 21 episodes. So if we look at the entire universe, which I believe is connected, you have 16 seasons, 214 episodes, and growing, because we're going to get X-Men 97 continuing that awesome series. And they've said there's at least 2 seasons coming out. So very cool. Wow. The 90s Spider-Man ties a lot together. Okay, then we have Spider-Man Unlimited. Now, Spider-Man Unlimited showed up in the Pointing Meme and also Chasing Miles in Across the Spider-Verse. And also, here we see Eddie becoming Venom. It's part of the Web of Life and Destiny as a canon event, and want to do a big thanks to Luke 2 Max, a.k.a. the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. guy on the Discord server. Dude, Luke, you rock for helping us find this one. So that's Eddie becoming Venom. And then Spider-Man Unlimited, it ran from 1999 to 2001 for 1 season and 13 episodes. It is worth mentioning that it was meant originally to be a continuation of Spider-Man the Animated Series, but it ended up being its own thing completely. All right, so then we have lots of references from the Raimi Spider-Man movies. So we have the audio, Uncle Ben's audio, directly lifted and used in Into the Spider-Verse. We have Uncle Ben's death showing up as a canon event. You can see down there in the lower left, it's in the Web of Life and Destiny, and of course on the lower right is a close-up of that. We have Peter's spider bite also showing up in the canon events. And we have Peter and MJ's kiss showing up in the canon events. And finally, we have the symbiote battle from Spider-Man 3 also showing up. So, wow, the Raimi movies really got some shout-outs. Of course, Spider-Man came out in 2002, Spider-Man 2 in 2004, and Spider-Man 3 in 2007. All right, then we have the Spectacular Spider-Man. Now, he was voiced by Josh Keaton, which that's huge to get the same voice actor back. So very, very cool. Then we see Spectacular Spider-Man's Uncle Ben death as a canon event. And then this one's kind of interesting. Theoretically, we are seeing Captain Stacy's death from Spectacular Spider-Man as a canon event. However, that actually never happened in the series. It probably would have been seen had the show continued on, to another season, but it wasn't. But it sure looks like that Spectacular Spider-Man's Captain Stacy. So pretty cool. Okay, so Spectacular Spider-Man ran from 2008 to 2009 for 2 seasons and 26 episodes. Very cool. All right, then we got Lego Spider-Man. Love Lego Spider-Man. We see him talking to Miguel there, and he also, very quick, he had to look closely, but he showed up on Peter Parked car in Across the Spider-Verse. So, love it. All right, the Lego Marvel Universe. Holy mackerel, so much going on there. So from 2013 to 2021, there were 3 games and 8 short films. You can see over on the left are the 3 games, and then on the right, all of the short films: Maximum Overload, Avengers Reassembled, The Thanos Threat, Trouble in Wakanda, Vexed by Venom, Climate Conundrum, Loki in Training, and Time Twisted. So yeah, very, very cool. Love Lego Spider-Man and the entire Spider-Man / Lego universe. All right, then we have the Ultimate Spider-Man. So he appeared in Across the Spider-Verse, and there are some that have questioned whether the design of the costume is a little bit different than the show, but man, it sure looks like that's Ultimate Spider-Man. So I'm including it. Let me know what you think. Now, Ultimate Spider-Man ran from 2012 to 2017 for 4 seasons and 104 episodes. But once again, many crossovers. So you can see them all here, a lot of the different crossovers. We have kind of a Spider-Verse crossover there with a bunch of the different Spider-Men. We have him teaming up with the Avengers. We have him teaming up with Hulk. And we have him teaming up with Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, a bunch of things were pulled together. So if we look at all of them, the entire universe is 10 seasons and 313 episodes. Because you have Avengers Assembled with 4 seasons, 104 episodes. The Avengers Assembled Shorts, which is 1 season, 6 episodes. Hulk and the Agents of Smash, another 2 seasons, 52 episodes. Marvel Superhero Adventures Frostfight, which is a direct-to-video movie. We have the Guardians of the Galaxy shorts, 2 seasons, 11 episodes. Guardians of the Galaxy show, which was 2 seasons, 53 episodes. And yet another direct-to-video movie, Hulk, Where Monsters Dwell. My goodness. It is worth noting that the 2 movies are spin-offs of Avengers Assemble, with the main cast showing up in both of them. And it seems like the 3rd season of Guardians of the Galaxy and 5th season of Avengers Assembled is set in a different continuity with the 2017 Spider-Man show. So let me know what you think about that, if you agree or disagree. But bottom line is, man, 10 seasons, 313 episodes. Wow. And then we have the Amazing Spider-Man showing up, watching Uncle Ben's death, which is a canon event, obviously. And Amazing Spider-Man appeared in both 2012 and 2014 movies. Very cool. All right. Then we have the Amazing Spider-Man game. So once again, we see the canon death of Uncle Ben and dying, and you can see it in the Web of Life and Destiny there on the left, and then a blow-up of it on the right. And then the Amazing Spider-Man game came out in 2012, and Spider-Man 2 game came out in 2014. So then we have a lot of references to the MCU Spider-Man, in other words, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, with the biggest one being the No Way Home reference, right? The Don't Get Me Started on Doctor Strange and that little nerd back on Earth 199999, right? Which made the whole debate on what is the numbering for the MCU. For the record, I think everybody has different numberings. Christine Palmer called it 616 in Multiverse of Madness, and Miguel calls it 199999. There's no reason that different people can't have different numbering, right? So it all works to me. But anyway, the debate will never end, I'm sure. Also, the MCU Spider-Man seems to have a tie to the Homecoming's Prowler, because if you notice in the character design for the character, down there in the middle on the right, it says MCU Prowler. So they literally were designing the Spider-Verse Prowler after what they're calling the MCU Prowler. So I really do hope that we get Miles and the Prowler showing back up in the MCU. We'll see. Maybe by Spider-Man 4. Fingers crossed. All right, then this one's wild. Notice on the left is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and in particular a newspaper article saying hero or rogue, referring to Daisy Johnson. And then notice on the right, Oh my goodness, that's clearly that newspaper clipping. So that means Daisy Johnson is apparently canon, at least in Miles' universe. Now, people can debate whether the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon in the main MCU, but apparently she is canon in Miles, if nothing else. Personally, I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is still canon because it's never been said it's not. But nonetheless, that debate will also rage on. All right, clearly the MCU Spider-Man has ties because of the Loki timeline image, and we see that directly in Across the Spider-Verse as it slowly turns into the web of life and destiny. And then the MCU Spider-Man, this has been just recently uncovered, was in a deleted scene. And whether or not that'll ever get restored into the movie, who knows? Probably not. But nonetheless, it was created, and he's there. It's kind of funny. They made him short, too. I don't know if they're trying to rip on Tom Holland's height. I don't think he's that short, but nonetheless, kind of short. All right. Anyway, then this one's really cool. The MCU Spider-Man is referenced because of No Way Home, and Dr. Octopus's audio, the "Hello, Peter," is basically lifted and used when Miles is running away from Miguel. All right, so if you include all of the MCU Spider-Man movies and references, that's 2016 to 2022, his 6 movies, as well as 2 of the dailybugle.net features, which had interviews with many of the different characters from the movie. All right, then we have the PS4 Spider-Man. So he appeared in the 1610 Spider-Man's underground base in Into the Spider-Verse, so very cool. And then he also appeared in Across the Spider-Verse, so awesome. And then the PS5 Spider-Man 2 has appeared, voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, so that's very cool. And I think it's epic that he's appearing in the scene where he's staring at both Video Man and the Atari video game. And you wonder if there was a thought balloon there, it would be, man, those graphics are bad. Thank goodness I don't have to suffer through those. So then also he appears in the pointing meme, I should mention. Doesn't everybody, though? I think everybody appears in the pointing meme. And it seems like they chose the real advanced suit that Peter had and used for the first Spider-Man game. So, very cool. All right, then we have PS Spider-Man 2 gameplay actually showing up. Now, this is kind of wild when you think about it because the game isn't even released yet. But yet, Genki Lee is playing, well, he's supposedly working on an essay, but he's actually playing the game. So, theoretically, this is footage from the new game. Now, I originally thought it was from PS4 just because PS5 hadn't been released yet. But no, this is clearly PS5. So that means that the game has not only been released in Miles' universe, but it's canon to his universe. I'm assuming his character doesn't show up in the game because he does show up in the game that's coming out. I mean, if you look at it, we have the PS4 Spider-Man game, that's 2018, and the upcoming PS5, it's got Miles in it. So presumably he isn't in the version that they're playing. And if it is, that's pretty wild. All right, so that's in 2023. It's just coming out. But then also it is worth mentioning that there are 5 total games in the universe because Miles Morales has his own game, which again I presume is not canon in his universe. The Iron Man VR references events that happened in Spider-Man and is meant to be in the same universe. And then the Wolverine game, which is upcoming, not out yet, but it has already been said that it is in the same universe. So, man, more stuff into the multiverse. Okay, then, of course, we have the infamous Venom crossover with Mrs. Chen. That was awesome, where Spot pops out to say hi to her. So, by this being there, we get Venom 2018 as well as Venom 2 in 2021. But, of course, Venom has a much bigger universe, so that really pulls in Morbius, the dailybugle.net series, the upcoming Madam Web, Kraven, and, of course, Venom 3. Man. All right, next we have J. Jonah Jameson. Love me some J. Jonah Jameson in every occurrence voiced by the legend J.K. Simmons. So, let's start counting these down. We have Raimi Jameson in Spider-Man 1 through 3, the Ultimate Spider-Man Universe Jameson, which is also in Avengers Assembled and Agents of Smash, the Lego Jameson from Lego Marvel Superheroes Maximum Overload, the MCU Jameson, which of course is in Spider-Man Far From Home and No Way Home. Then, from the Spider-Verse standpoint, in Across the Spider-Verse, he appears as he rants about the new Spider-Man, Miles. Then he appears in Earth 42's universe, and he talks about the Sinister Six cartel. And he appears in Gwen's universe, because he can be heard ranting about the Spider-Woman who's out there killing Peter Parker. And then finally, we have the Lego references, which are in Across the Spider-Verse, which used old audio from Spider-Man 2, where JJJ is angry at Peter for not getting better photos of Spidey. And this universe sure seems to be based off the Raimi movies, because you can see Doc Ock still at large newspaper and what looks like the Raimi versions of Betty Brant, Robbie Robinson, and maybe even Ted Hoffman. So, man, JJJ, you demand. That's all I can say. You demand. All right. So, if we look then at every single on-screen Spider-Man connected so far, we have 15 firm connections. Firm connections. That has basically resulted in all of these movies, my goodness, all of these shows, all of these shorts, these web series, and these games. All of them are connected. Every one of these is part of the multiverse, thanks to what we've seen so far. So now we want to move on to just a few honorable mentions, which really seem like they should count. So the first one is the PS1 Spider-Man, because the training room sequence looks very, very familiar to what Miles runs through when he's trying to escape from Miguel. I mean, the Dr. Octopus, that's pretty much right out of the game, right? So I think that's enough to count. Honorable mention, not official. That's why we're breaking this into a separate section, but I think that counts. So that means we pull in the PS1 and the Game Boy games from 2000 to 2001. All right. Another honorable mention is Shattered Dimensions, because it uses the Spider-Man 99 theme. It basically samples it from the game in Across the Spider-Verse when Miguel shows up. So yeah, that seems like a pretty solid reference. Plus, it is worth pointing out that Shattered Dimensions featured the Web of Life and Destiny. And basically, it has the Spider-Man 2099 alongside the Spider-Man from an alternate 616, an Ultimate Spider-Man from an alternate 1610, and Spider-Man Noir. And then it's also, because it's the first time that the Web of Life and Destiny shows up, you could argue that connects it to every Spidey in the multiverse, because it went on to be in the comics, the Ultimate Spider-Man show during the Spider-Verse arc, and of course, the Spider-Verse. So really, huge thanks to Shattered Dimensions for coming up with this concept, it seems. And then if we take it one more step further, you could argue that the 90s Spider-Man Secret Wars event is important in this chain of connections, because that event is what inspired Shattered Dimensions game, which then inspired the Spider-Verse comics, which included the Ultimate Spider-Man show arc, and inspired No Way Home, and inspired the Spider-Verse movies. So yeah, it's really all tied together. So I think clearly we can include Shattered Dimensions, right? So Shattered Dimensions, the first game came out in 2010, and then Edge of Time came out in 2011. Woof. Okay. Lastly, last honorable mention is clearly we're going to have upcoming the Japanese Spider-Man. Everyone thought he was going to be in Across the Spider-Verse, but we have Phil Lord basically saying, yes, you're going to get him. He's designed. It's going to happen in Beyond the Spider-Verse. So can't wait to see him. He's going to be epic. By including him, his show came out in 1978. We get one more season and 41 episodes. Whew. So here again, then, are all of the 18 major connections, if we add in the PS1, the Shattered Dimensions, and Spider-Man. My goodness. That is amazing. So let's go ahead and add in these three into some of the other totals, because if we add in Spider-Man into the TV shows, this is what it looks like. And if we add in the games, this is what that looks like. So, man. Now, let's just summarize the total numbers, because this really is crazy. Those 18 connections, those 18 Spider-Man appearances give us the following. Total number of movies, 16 theatrical, 2 direct-to-video, and 4 upcoming. Total of shows, 17 shows, 39 seasons, 699 episodes, plus 1 season with 41 episodes of the Japanese Spider-Man, leading to 740 episodes with an upcoming 2 seasons of X-Men, 97. On the shorts, 26 episodes, Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers Assemble shorts are a total of 17 shorts, plus 1 upcoming with The Spider Within. Total of games, 9 plus the 6 honorable mentions, plus 2 upcoming Spider-Man and the Wolverine. And then a total of web series, 3 seasons, 29 episodes. So you would think, with all of this, surely every single on-screen media that's ever existed has appeared in one of those 2 movies, Into or Across the Spider-Verse. No, Beyond the Spider-Verse actually has some ground that it can cover if it wants to include more. So let's break this down. Here are the on-screen media that is yet to appear. In the live-action front, you have Spidey Super Stories show. You also have the Amazing Spider-Man show from 77 to 79. On the Spider-Man only animated shows, you have Spider-Man the New Animated Series, which is interesting. That was originally going to be a sequel to the first Raimi movie, but it was actually retconned to be its own universe because of Spider-Man 2. But you also have Marvel Spider-Man that came out from 2017 to 2020, Spidey and His Amazing Friends from 2021 to present, and then the upcoming Spider-Man freshman year. Then in the video game front, there's the Ultimate Spider-Man game, and there's also Spider-Man Web of Shadows. From the musical front, there's the epically disastrous Turn Off the Dark Spider-Man musical. They really need to make fun of that in the Beyond the Spider-Verse. And then from multi-animated media, you have a Marvel Rising, which has a TV film, TV specials, and shorts as Spider-Gwen with the main character. Then you have the Disney theme parks. We need some reference to the theme park rides. That would be sweet. And then finally, there are a few Marvel animated shows that include a Spider-Man that has not yet appeared. So we have Fantastic Four World's Greatest Heroes. You can see his appearance there. Actually, only Peter cameos in that. They have the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which has a Spider-Man appearance. Marvel Disc Wars Avengers. The Marvel Future Avengers. And, of course, the upcoming Marvel Zombies. And, of course, there was a What If episode, in fact, that had the Spider-Man zombie. But surely he'll be showing up in the Marvel Zombies as well. So, yeah, all of these are out there and waiting in case Beyond the Spider-Verse wants to reference any of these. Unbelievable. Okay, so just a reminder, I do have that Google Sheet sitting out there. I will have it updated by the end of the day. And again, you can filter and look at whatever you want. By the way, you can also sort it by release order or by timeline order. So that's kind of cool too. Then remember, we do have the September contest starting now. Be a subscriber, leave a comment. I'll announce the winner in October who can choose for one of these three. And lastly, I always like to mention we do have a Discord server. Here you can see us creating the information for this video, which we've been doing for a while, because that goes all the way back to August 23rd. And there's Luke 2Max, buddy, giving us the reference we couldn't find. So thank you, Luke. All right, I will leave a pinned comment with a link to the Discord server in case you want to join that. Also, if you don't mind, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out more content, and we'll all continue to enjoy the ever-growing, ever-changing Marvel Cinematic Universe.